Whew, that was fast. Just slid in there. It's like I was sliding in the DMs. Just right on camera. What's up, people? A little water in there. Okay. Got a whole Scotch bonnet in there, nice and spicy. Yes. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Let me share this live real quick on my Insta story, let the people know, and then we're gonna jump right into what it is that we're doing here today. Yes. Yes, sir. Was that thunder? No. That was okay. All right. How's everybody doing? Hello. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to be making today something simple because we just came back from traveling. So I'm kind of doing, I wouldn't say leftovers, but I'm just doing something not as super intricate that I normally do, right? So we're gonna do a salad, of course, real quick, simple salad. So I have some spinach right here that we're gonna add to the salad. So I'm just gonna give this a quick rough chop because some of these leaves are massive, and just gonna give it a quick, ginsu, choppy. Woo! Love making it rain veggies. But yeah, so we have our spinach, right? I'm gonna clean out this arugula. It's starting to, shrivel up a little, but it's still good. It's just, getting to that point, right? So I just want to pick out the pieces that are not the most appealing to look at, right? All right, so that's good. That's going in there nice and fresh. I like how that one looks. All right, what's up, people? What's up, everybody? Welcome. How you doing? Lydia, what's up? Kevin, Jimmy, how you guys doing? All right, so we have our arugula, right? I'm gonna just use half of what I have here so I can have the rest for tomorrow and then call it a day, you know what I mean? Okay, so we have our arugula in. That's a good, nice little healthy mix. Put this to the side. All right, so what I want to start doing is I want to change the flow of the live. So we're gonna do a little bit of Q&A, a little bit of talk, so we can walk the walk, and then we're gonna jump into dinner per usual, right? Per usual. Okay. So with that being said, I'll just go into what we're actually doing for dinner, and then we're gonna get to the talking. All right. So first things first, we have our salad that we're gonna make. We have arugula, we have spinach, and we have some freshly grown sprouts. These are broccoli sprouts, right? So tons of nutrition in here, right? Really great value. So this is my bowl. All right, so I'm gonna add about half of it in here. All right, so this actually has more nutrients than the actual broccoli, right? Which is crazy. But, that's just how amazing God is, you know what I'm saying? So these you can grow at home, so you never have to worry about sprouts, because sprouts can get expensive in the supermarket. But when you grow them yourself, this whole jar is only a quarter cup of seeds. So you can do a lot, right, with one of those jars. So that's it. So for the salad, we have broccoli sprouts, arugula, baby spinach. I have kale and green lettuce soaking in water in the back. So that's going to be the greens for the salad. Then we're going to top it off with some roasted beets, carrots, peppers, and cucumbers. And we're going to call it a day. That's going to be our salad mix. All right. So let me make sure my lentils I also have lentils simmering in the back right now, looking really nice. It's, just cooked to perfection. There's a whole Scotch bonnet pepper in here, so it's gonna have some heat. We have some bay leaves, we have some carrots, all right? But the idea is to it's already done, but we're just keeping it nice and hot, okay? So what I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that, being plant-based is something that everybody basically is, but the thing is, people feel that if they're not just eating only vegetables, they can't call themselves plant-based. Like literally, even if you eat meat, seafood, poultry, you're plant-based, right? So I think people just need to really understand what it is to actually be plant-based. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat, please. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. All right, JB. Cool. Tech radio. Yes, Plant Lady 1. And Angeliquita. Okay, cool. So everybody can hear me. Lori can hear me. All right, so we're good. I don't know. TikTok was like, warning, no audio. All right, back to business. It's saying it again. Warning, no audio detected on your live. And it's like, it's dropping people. I don't know. That's so weird. But you guys can hear me, so I don't know why it's doing that.
Is the audio spotty?
I mean, I don't know why the audio would not be. I don't understand. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay. All right, we're going to keep it moving. I don't know, technology. You win some, you lose some. You can't really argue with it. It has a mind of its own. But we're going to keep moving. I can hear you perfectly. Thank you, Miss Manager. All right. Okay. Back to what we were saying. So plant-based. All right. So the goal is to make really delicious food without having to worry about what it is that you're actually making. As long as you have lots of vegetables in your pot, in your plate, then you're winning, right? The goal is to not get, discouraged or not to feel some kind of way because you're like, well, I don't know what to do. I'm not vegan. You don't have to be vegan to be plant-based, right? Warning. Right on time. I just decided to start. Okay. Okay, so right on time. I like that. Yeah, go ahead, sweetheart. So EXO says right on time. I just decided to start a more plant-based diet. Cool. I'm happy to hear that. Sunflower, what's up? Welcome. So the thing is, right? To be plant-based is literally you deciding that you're going to put more vegetables on your plate. Like, that is it. That is all you need to do. Make a decision to eat more vegetables. And that is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Right? So what I tell people, what I tell my clients, what I tell my students is the best way to do this and to do successfully is to add more veggies to your plate. But as you're adding more veggies to your plate, you are making the beef, the chicken, the seafood smaller, right? So that's the trick. You don't cut it out completely. You don't go cold turkey. That's the worst case scenario. If anybody tells you to do that, they're not your friend, all right? Run the opposite way. So the best case scenario is to put more veggies on your plate and put less meat, less poultry, less seafood, right?
Sunflower says hi.
What's up, Sunflower? What's up? Okay, so the other thing is, right, when you're trying to do this, there are going to be obstacles, of course. The food might not come out the way you like. You might be craving something. So what I tell people is to start with the dishes that you love the most, right? This is really important. So if you're trying to be plant-based, more plant-based, you're trying to cut out meat, poultry, and seafood, start with the dishes that you love the most and veganize those, make those plant-based, right? By doing that, you're going to still be comfortable because you're not getting away from the dishes that you love to eat while you were not plant-based, right? 100% plant-based. That's the trick. You want to pay attention to that. So if you love macaroni and cheese, make vegan macaroni and cheese, right? If you love steak and potatoes, then make a cauliflower steak. I'll tell you this, what is going to save you a lot of trouble and headache is not trying to replace eggs for vegan eggs, not trying to replace beef for vegan beef, not trying to replace chicken with vegan chicken. That's the worst thing you can possibly do, right? Try to replace these actual ingredients with things that are vegan, because there really is no such thing.
Let's see.
Chi, God bless you and your family. What's up, Chi Chi? Appreciate you, Chi Chi. Hope all is well. I missed you. All right, so yes, Emma.
Actually, is interested in
Who?
somebody you were talking to earlier is interested in cookbook 1 and 2. You gotta talk.
Yes. So the cookbooks, and this is why we're gonna jump into that. So when I decided to go plant-based with my family, breakfast for me was the hardest. You know what I mean? So I had to figure out how to do breakfast and do it plant-based, and actually make it make sense. So what I tell people is, and this is what I did with my cookbooks, I decided to think outside the box, right? And I decided to look around the world. Every time I traveled to Asia, to Africa, to the Caribbean, to South America, wherever it was I was traveling, I'm like, what are they eating for breakfast? And that opened my eyes, because when I went to India, breakfast is lentils, it's curry, it's different types of naan, it's roti, it's dosa, right? So going to Africa, breakfast is yams. You know what I mean? In the Caribbean, it's, saltfish. Obviously, we can't do saltfish. So what do you do instead? I would do like a crushed tofu, right? And season that up with seaweed, things like that. So there are different things you can do, but the goal is to look outside of what you consider traditional breakfast and then really evaluate what is possible. Because at the end of the day, you can literally eat whatever you want for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I mean? Like who said the rule was for breakfast, it had to be bacon, eggs, and cheese. It had to be croissant. It had to be toast. It had to be bagels. Like, no, in Japan, breakfast is miso soup. You know what I mean? So in China, it's congee, which is like a rice porridge with different accoutrements. And accoutrements is, toppings. You know what I mean? Scallions, little bits, fried garlic, chili oil. So take out of your mind and get out of that box of what was and what is, and open your mind to what actually can be. Okay? Super important. So because of that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to write a cookbook all about breakfast, right? So that cookbook, it's 100% vegan. My series is called Veganish, and it's completely all about breakfast. The first one, all about breakfast. The next one, which is the one pinned right now, it's more of a global kind of, international book. So there's lots of different things in there. And then there is the Nigerian Veganish, right? So my Veganish Nigerian is all about Nigerian food that happens to be 100% plant-based, vegan, and super delicious, because my wife's Nigerian. So I have the blessing of the ancestors to come up with these flavors. You know what I mean? Yes, Emma, talk to me.
Aura said, this is so exciting. I love plant-based food, but I don't really know how to prepare it.
Aura?
Yes.
Aura, welcome. Welcome. All we do is plant-based food every single week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I even have a community that people join that want even more access to things, right? Where every week I upload menus, grocery lists, recipes, all the nitty gritty, all the extra stuff that you might want to get access to. All right. Yes. Shout out to Sous Chef Emma. Appreciate that, EXO.
Thank you.
Most definitely. So I just added new potatoes into this pot right here. Now, when I was a young lad working in New York, right? I worked for Boston Market. This was like right out of school, and there was a few things on the menu that I just loved. And one of them was their garlic dill potatoes. So they would take red bliss potatoes, which is what I just cut up, and they would blanch them or steam them. And then they would make this beautiful garlic butter with fresh dill. And I'm telling you, it's the most simplest thing, but the way it tastes, Oh my goodness, it's so good! So good! So that's what we're doing today, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing garlic dill red bliss potatoes, right? With a nice lentil stew in the back here, right? A little spicy. And then we're making a nice salad. All right? Very simple, very easy. And then, of course, we're gonna saute some delicious mushrooms that we got from the farmer's market. So that's what we're doing for dinner, right? So back to the cookbooks, back to being plant-based. It really just takes you thinking about what it is that you want to do and really going for it, right? It seems like it could be really daunting and really crazy, and yes, that 100% can be the case if you don't have the right resources to help you, right? So that's what these cookbooks are about. One of them is for your breakfast needs, one of them is for a mix, and then of course there's the Nigerian one. And then every week I'm here showing you really amazing recipes that you can do at home yourself. So it just takes you wanting to do something different, wanting to do something new, and then going for it, right? It's very simple. So with the potatoes, we want to cook them almost al dente. We don't want to overcook them. We don't want them to get mushy, right? We want to be able to bite into the potatoes, and we want them to be able to hold their shape. So that way it doesn't become like this, muddled situation. You know what I mean? When we're tossing it with the garlic butter. Okay? So once we get the lettuce ready, the salad ready, we're going to work on the garlic butter, which is super easy. And I'm going to show you that step by step today. So when you join me every week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm live 5:30. We have a little Q&A, and then you also get to see me make dinner for my family, right? And we're not holding no gates closed here, right? Because we don't gatekeep up in here. You know what I'm saying? What I know, you know. You have access to my brain. And my brain has been cooking professionally for 30 years. So there's lots in this noggin. What's up, Glam? Haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing? All right, people. So let's get this carrot ready for the salad. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grate the carrot. If I can find my box grater, it's right here. So I was in Brooklyn over the weekend at the Black Veg Fest. It was so cool, right? And I did this really amazing Asian salad for them. The demo was just very, very cool, right? So you know what? We're going to do that maybe Wednesday. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. But it's a really cool salad, right? Rice stick noodles, vermicelli noodles, and cucumbers, peppers, lots of herbs. It's a very herbaceous salad, right? So, and then you have the dressing, which is made up with apricot glaze. It's made with mayploy chili, Thai chili, sweet chili. It's rice wine vinegar, like some really dope flavor profiles, right? So all that mixed together gives you this really, really beautiful dish. Oh, look at that. White and yellow carrots. Yes, Ems.
It's got 5 new followers. 5 new followers.
Shout out to all my followers. Crystal. Appreciate that. Dion. Thank you. Love y'all. Yes. Here's to a more plant-based life. You know what I'm saying? So we got our carrots nice and shredded, right? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Food can be beautiful if you just take a second to understand it. You know what I'm saying? Really important. And I'm big on that. Like knowing which vegetables to blanch and chop, which vegetables to char, which vegetables to saute, which vegetables to roast. These are all really, really important things. What's up, Miss Pasha? Welcome, welcome. Yo, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? While I was at the festival on Saturday, one of my amazing fam from TikTok flew all the way from Virginia to say what's up. Like Miss Judy came by to say hello, and she brought her sister. Like, it was so cool, man. Thanks, sweetheart.
I'll hold it.
Thank you.
I hold him.
I hold him. All right.
Miss
So
Pasha asked, how are you doing, Chef?
I am doing well, Miss Pasha. How are you? It's good to see you. All right, so we're gonna check our potatoes because we don't want it to overcook. Remember, very important. All right, you can see me slicing. Okay, beautiful. Gotta make sure you see it's not TV magic. You know what I'm saying? Like we're actually working up in here. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. 2 types of carrots, red peppers, well, and plant-based. I heard that. Arugula, broccoli sprouts, and spinach. Really, Emma? I'm gonna get you. All right, let's check the potatoes. The potatoes. We want to make sure that the potatoes are nice. All right. The goal is to cook these perfectly. So the way you want to test cooking these perfectly. Aura, welcome to the fan club. Yes, Emma.
Yes, I was just gonna say that she sent a heart me.
So the way you test potatoes, appreciate that heart meat, Aura, is you take one out of the water, you stick your knife into it like this, and if it slides off the knife, like it's about to do, it's about 95% ready. Miss Pasha, thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate that. So these, because it has slid off of my knife, you know, I have to come with my English correct because, you know, some people, they be judging me and stuff.
I'm not judging.
I was actually talking about your mom.
Oh.
See, but that's what happens when you talk too fast.
When has mom ever...
I'm not English teacher.
Yep, she's the English teacher extraordinaire. All right, you know, I'm from the Caribbean, man. Like, you know, we 1, 2, 3. You know, we don't pronounce certain things
Nigeria.
English. You know, it's not really my language. You know what I'm saying? But you know, people be out here watching me like a hawk. I'm not in school. I'm not in school.
I just want to make sure you're grammatically
I'm not in school. Grammatically, between
She's the English
the
teacher.
daughter and the wife.
Mom has never done that.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Oh,
I just don't say it so you guys can hear. I pull that into the side. Oh yeah, I'm very discreet with it.
24/7. It's like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk proper. You feel me?
You don't have to talk proper. Just speak proper English.
No. See yourself. All right, people. So I'm gonna turn off the potatoes and drain them. We don't want to keep them in the water because that's gonna keep cooking them as well. So just give me a sec. Let me pour this water off. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, I need a lid. Otherwise, I'm gonna lose all my potatoes.
What's your favorite type of potato?
Oh, favorite type of potatoes. I love Bliss potatoes and Idaho. So I have 2 favorites, Bliss and Idaho's. All right, russets, you know, same thing. Idaho and russets, to me, they're the same. So I'm like, I don't even differentiate the 2. Okay, back to business. Let's work on the garlic butter, right? Very important. So we need lots of garlic because we're making garlic butter. All right.
Miss Posh is a Japanese sweet.
Ooh, ube.
No.
Yes. So purple sweet potatoes. Yeah, you got me there. That's a banger. That's a banger. She is banging. All right. So garlic, we got about 5, and one of these actually, this garlic right here. Believe it or not, we grew this garlic. It was one lonely situation. Ooh, nice. Yeah, we just tried it to see if it would work, and it did. So it's nice and strong.
Very nice.
Right? That's so cool. Maybe we grew our own garlic, Emma. It's so nice.
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah, Dan. All right, we gotta peel that up. Okay, let's get the rest. Gigantuous. Okay, here we go. So ladies and gentlemen, while I am prepping and getting my garlic ready, all right, definitely make sure you check out the TikTok shop. We got lots of cool stuff. I just launched 4 out of my 12 seasonings. So they're now available in TikTok shop. We're actually gonna use the smoky salt that's available right here, this baby right here. We're gonna use the smoky salt to cook our mushrooms, all right? Add some smoky flavor to that in a second, all right? So yeah, then we have the 3 cookbooks, We have this apron that I'm wearing also in the TikTok shop. You know what I'm saying? So we got some really cool stuff, man. So make sure you take a peep, all right? And get it while the getting's hot. Okay, let's get rid of this trash. I'm gonna need a saute pan in a second. Okay, let's see, saute pan right here. No, for the garlic butter, we're gonna use something smaller. Boom. All right, let's cut off these nibs. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great time to ask questions that's been on your mind about being more plant-based, right? What does those questions look like? You know, is it starting out? Is it take these glasses off.
Let me do it.
Thanks, Yuri. Yeah, people, so consider me your encyclopedia, you know what I mean? So this is the perfect time to bring your questions every week. Like, if you have questions during the week and I'm not live, you know, write them down, you know, and come with the questions the next day. You know what I'm saying?
Chadwick asks fear of less protein. Fear of less protein.
Nah, we don't fear less protein. We get plenty of protein. Right? We get protein from almost everything we eat. All right? Almost everything you eat has protein in it. Now, if you're talking a specific protein, like a whole complete protein, then there's only a few things, right? So this is why I tell my clients, my students, my customers, you want to eat the rainbow, right? It's really important. Don't just eat your favorite item and nothing else and eat that all day, every day. Like, eat the rainbow. And what do I mean by that? Eat a variety of foods, a variety of colors, right? It's really, really important. Make sure, that's why you always see when I do food, there's multiple colors going on, always, on any given day, right? Make sure you get your deep purples, right? Make sure you get your reds, your orange, your browns, your white, your greens. Make sure you get your greens. These are things that are a must, right? Really, really, really important. So the way I do my garlic oil, right? Very simple. I do just enough oil, which is about a tablespoon and a half of oil, right? Just a little bit. And what I do is I sweat my garlic first, right? Very important. Because if you go with just butter and you do this, then you're taking away from that creaminess that the butter has. And I want to have that when I add my potatoes, right? So the goal is, if you go with the oil first and just a little bit, right? And slowly sweat that, then you're able to cook the garlic, get rid of that raw flavor, and then just throw in the butter at the end to just kind of barely melt and do its thing, right? So that's what we're doing. So I'm gonna just bring the flame up about halfway. Good, drop more of, boom, that looks good. And then we're gonna hit this with some salt, right? The salt helps the garlic to sweat. And we want the garlic to sweat because that's how we're gonna caramelize lightly, right? Some fresh cracked black pepper in there, of course. Very important. Now, our dill. I have my dill soaking in cold water, right? Just to keep it nice and fresh and ready for later, which is now. So I'm gonna get rid of all that water and I'm gonna just spin this, right? Because we don't want to dilute our butter. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to cut it and put it on this plate. All right, so garlic is lightly caramelized, right? You see? Just a touch, like a kiss of golden, right? So I'm gonna just put that to the side and let it kind of just cool down for a little bit. We get all of our dill out. Now you don't want to put this into a piping hot situation. Like, you know how you see how I just sauteed the mushrooms? I mean, not the mushrooms, I mean the garlic. You don't want to just throw this dill into there, because what you're going to end up happening is the dill is going to pretty much just, you're going to kill the dill, right? The goal is to have the dill be raw, basically. So that's what gives you the maximum flavor. That's what gives you the best flavor from the dill. The minute the dill gets cooked, it's a completely different flavor profile. And that's not what we want, right? So it's very important to know when to add the dill. The potatoes are gonna be hot, right? They're covered, but they're gonna be hot. And the garlic butter is going to be warm. So we wanna make sure that this dill is literally going in once everything is ready to go. All right, so dill chopped to the side, right? Let's wipe the board so we can get ready for the mushrooms, because that's the last thing we need to cook. But before we do that, let's clean up our lettuce and cucumbers. Okay. So, Emma, any questions for me? What are the people saying? What are the people saying? Meanwhile, I'm going to add some onion and garlic powder to my lightly caramelized garlic. So I'm adding 2 teaspoons each of onion powder and garlic powder, okay? Okay, that's done. We get the butter. So the butter is room temperature. I'm gonna just add it. This is a half a stick of butter, right? So right in. And we're gonna let it just, yes. Get a little bit more butter. Cool. This one was in the freezer, so we're gonna give it a minute. Okay.
All right, let's see. Somebody asked, "What dish are you making?" Karen Grant said, "What are you
Karen
making?"
Grant said, "What dish am I making?"
Yes.
Hi, Karen. I am making a garlic dill red bliss potato, a delicious summer salad with some spicy lentils. All right. Let's chop up these greens. I always soak my greens in cold water, always. Appreciate that, Karen. Yeah, always soak my greens in cold water. All right, it brings them back to life. If they seem a little, wimpy, if they basically just started to dehydrate and, lose a lot of the moisture, they can kind of get lip, right? So cold water brings them back to life very beautifully, very naturally.
Oh, sorry. Period said, "What does that do?" Someone asked, "What does that do?" This.
Oh, I'm spinning the lettuce so it gets rid of all the extra water, the excess water. Yeah, it's just a salad spinner. All right, so we have kale, green lettuce, spinach, arugula, and broccoli sprouts, red peppers, carrots. We need some onions in here ASAP. All right, let's get some onions in here. Do we have onions up here? No! Em?
I'll be back.
Appreciate that, sweetheart. Grab me some onion. I love onions in my salad. It just works. You know what I mean? So we have our garlic butter looking real nice. See? Right? So garlic butter is good. We're gonna put that off to the side and we're gonna get our saute pan down because now, perfect, potatoes are looking good. Now we're gonna do our mushrooms, right? So we have our greens. Ooh, that's a big onion. Give me that. Ooh, that's a big one. Big one.
Fox MJJ said you married with children and how many?
Yes, I am married. 3 babies. Yes. All right. Woo. If you missed Knife Cuts 101 last week, I'm sorry. But if you guys want me to do a second round of knife cuts, you know, how to use a knife, how to handle a knife, you know, different techniques, things like that, DM me, you know, or comment knife, right? If you comment knife and I see a bunch of comments for knife, then I will schedule round 2, right? So, beautiful sliced red onions. We got 1 knife. All right, if I get 5 people saying knives, then I will do another knife class. So Emma, count if we get 5 participants for knives, right? For a knife 101.
That's 2.
Okay, so we have our cucumbers. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. Fat lady. All right. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, people. All right, so we're gonna slide these cucumbers to the side. All right, and now we're gonna get ready for the last dish that we're making, which is our mushrooms. Now, check out these amazing mushrooms. All right, got these from the farmer's market. This is how you know. Yes, Emma.
We got 5.
We have 5.
Yeah, grandma this.
Okay, cool. All right, so Thursday we will do knife 101. So make sure I'm gonna schedule it so you can RSVP right after the live tonight. So this way, come back to the page, check it out, sign up. It's gonna be 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all right? So I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there, okay? All right, so my beautiful mushrooms, look at these. Appreciate that follow. Thanks, Just. Check this out, right? These are oyster mushrooms. Look at this. It's like a beautiful bouquet, right? Yes. All right. So we're gonna do about half of these babies. Ooh, so nice. So nice. So with mushrooms, literally, the only thing you don't cook is this nub right here. This is where the mycelium is connected. This is where it literally grows from. So this is the only piece you need to get rid of. Everything else is completely edible. All right. So we're just gonna slice. Boom. That's it. See? Clean. Right? That's why I love getting mushrooms from the farmer's market. Like you don't ever miss. You know, it's always impeccable. No, okay, let me pause. It's not always impeccable because not everyone is created equal and not everyone thinks or cares about mushrooms the same way. So there are multiple people that sell mushrooms, you know, anytime you go to a farmer's market and stuff like that. So for me, I rather get mushrooms from someone that grows mushrooms. You know what I mean? Like that's their thing. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. Like you get it, you understand, right? So that's my take on buying mushrooms. Cool. So we're gonna just chop this up real quick. Nothing fancy. All right, because we want to bite into some decent chunks. right? Because this is our meaty element for today. Granted, when we cook this, we're gonna crisp it up a little bit, but that's the trick, right? Like for me, I feel people really don't, some people don't really know how to cook mushrooms properly, just like anything else, really. And mushrooms, what people don't realize is that mushrooms are like a sponge. So you want to be very careful with the way you're cooking it and the way you're treating it, right? So it's really important for you to not overcrowd your pan. If you're trying to get color, if you're trying to get deep caramelization on your mushrooms, if you're trying to really sear, get a hard sear, then you never want to put too much in the pan. And how do you know it's too much? When you can't see the bottom of the pan, right? That's when you know there's too much mushrooms in your pan. So with the amount of mushrooms that I'm cutting right now, I'm gonna do this in about 2 or 3 batches because that's what's gonna make sense for me to get a really nice hard sear on these without cooking them really, really long. You know, really important to think about. And then also the other thing is, if you are somebody that's kind of new to mushrooms or trying to figure out the best way to enjoy them and you don't like when the mushrooms are soggy, then don't marinate your mushrooms. All right, it's really important to know this. You have to know what the end product of your mushroom is going to look like, what it's going to taste like. So if you want crispy edge mushrooms, if you want mushrooms that kind of remind you of like a piece of chicken or a piece of beef because it's seared, then you don't want to marinate the mushroom first. That's like the biggest problem you could ever give yourself, right? Let me pause. I think we have a question. What's up, Emma?
Fox MJJ said I love mushrooms.
Me too. I love mushrooms, Fox and JJ. So back to the cooking. So if you want crispy seared mushrooms, don't marinate it. If you want soggy mushrooms, which I don't think anyone do, but if you want a mushroom that's tossed in a sauce, sear it first, make your sauce, and then toss it in at the end. Don't toss it in the sauce and then try to cook it. You're gonna end up with a mushroom that's very wet. It's gonna absorb all of that flavor, which is cool, but you're not gonna get a sear on it. So it's gonna almost be like if you stewed the mushroom. So, you know, depending on the type of mushroom you're using, it might not come out the best way, right? So just something to think about the next time you're cooking your mushrooms. Yes, Em.
Sansan said, hey Chef Ed, mushrooms my favorite.
Sansan, what's up, yo? Yeah, mushrooms is the business, man. Like, I love me some mushrooms. So I'm gonna put this half back for another day, maybe mañana. You know what I'm saying? Mañana. Okay.
That's not a song, right?
Yes, it's a song. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's crank up the fire, right? We want to get this nice and hot. You know what I'm saying? Check out the lentils. It's like, first of all, look at the whole Scotch bonnet I was talking about. Whew. Right, look at this. Deep, beautiful, delicious lentils. There is my smoky salt, this one in here. So automatically it gives it a nice smoky flavor. Then I put a little bit of curry. There's a little bit of coconut milk in here. Carrots, lots of celery, onions, and garlic. Delicious.
Judy Chung said, Chef, it was such a pleasure meeting you and your beautiful and amazing wife, Jane.
Miss Judy! Guys, say what's up to Miss Judy. Make her feel welcome, please. Miss Judy is navigating TikTok, and I know TikTok can be crazy, but she's doing an amazing job. Guys, give Miss Judy a shout out, please. I would really appreciate that. She's awesome. And Miss Judy, I just want to say thank you so much. I sent you an email like immediately. It was so nice for you to come see me. And you brought your sister. I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Jan and I couldn't stop talking about how much fun we had hanging out with you at the festival. So cheers to meeting you in person, right? And yeah, I can't wait to do a pop-up in Atlanta so you guys can all come and we can just, you know, have communion, you know, as a dope collective, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy some really delicious food, some music, and just vibe out, you know what I mean? So I'm putting that together, all right? Just stay tuned, and, you know, we're going to have some fun.
Fox said, you from the Caribbean?
Yes! Caribbean? You done know I'm from the Caribbean. I grew up I was born in St. Lucia. I grew up in Jamaica, Barbados, St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, stayed in St. Kitts for a little bit, Grenada, and then South America. So yeah.
Daphne Alexander sent a rose.
Appreciate it, Daphne. Daphne?
Yes.
Oh yes, I got it right. Thank you, Daphne. Cheerio. All right, my oil is getting hot.
The plant lady said Guyana as well.
Huh?
Guyana.
Yes, Guyana, South America, Mom. You got it. See, my mom's in the audience, guys. She's sneaking. She's sneaking in here. But we know who she is. Plant lady. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm reusing my oil. One thing in this house, we don't waste nothing. We use everything and we find ways to use it. So this oil we used to fry up some stuff while I was away. My mom was cooking up some Guyanese food in here. It's called pulari. It's like an Indian dish, right? It's made with lentils. It's like a fritter. So she used this oil, but obviously there's oil left over. So what are you supposed to do? Throw it away? No. So anytime I need to saute, fry anything, we're using the same oil. Because guess what? Anytime you go to a Chinese restaurant, guess what they're doing? They're reusing that oil for every single thing. They don't throw it away until it's like done. Right? So, yes. Emma, you have a question?
Cheryl said, yeah, I'm watching from Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then a couple people asked, what are you making?
What am I making? Okay, so we have a beautiful salad right here. We have red onions in here. We have 2 types of carrots, yellow and white. We also have broccoli sprouts, kale, arugula, broccoli sprouts, I said that already, green lettuce, and red peppers, right? So this is what we have in here, right? So beautiful color. The only thing left to add is some cucumbers, which we're gonna add in a little bit, but that's our salad, okay?
Cheryl said, and I'm Jamaican.
Ah, nice. I lived in Jamaica too. I lived in Blue Mountain and Kingston. Trelawney, boop.
Fox said, my son-in-law is from St. Kitts, raised in St. Thomas.
Nice. Veganish cookbook, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the TikTok shop, right? And then check out the breakfast. Look at this baby right here. These are pancakes and they're vegan. Do you see how fluffy these pancakes are? Like crazy. Don't let anybody tell you you can't have plant-based food and it'd be delicious. Like, and guess what? The coloring is all natural. The green, yellow is matcha, right? The purple is ube, and the pinkish, reddish one is dragon fruit.
Oh.
Dragon fruit powder. Like all natural, all delicious. So I'm telling you, when it comes to resources, I'm your guy. Plant-based resources, I'm your guy. All right? Okay. Oil is hot for the mushrooms. It's go time.
Cheryl said blessings came from Ocho Rios, Jamaica.
Oh, nice. What's up? Blessings to you, fam. All right. So I'm taking half of my mushrooms right into the hot oil. All right? Very important. Be careful because you don't want to burn yourself.
Lynn Box said, what was the title of that song you were singing?
What song?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You said Mañana.
Oh yeah, you know what? I don't know the name of the song. I just know some of the words, but yeah, I have no idea. I could not tell you the name of that song, yo. My bad. All right, so mushrooms. Very important when you're searing mushrooms. These are the things to watch. 1, as soon as you put your mushrooms into the pan, do not be moving it around. Do not be shaking it. I know it's hard to not. Just leave it be, right? The more you agitate it, the more you reduce the temperature. You want to leave it at that temperature so it can actually caramelize and get that nice, deep, golden, delicious brown color, because that's what flavor is, that browning. You know what I mean? So the song is actually called Mañana.
Is that it?
Yes.
Is this by Peggy Lee?
Yo no sé mañana.
Is it by a lady, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Peggy Lee.
All right, so now we can toss the mushrooms, right? Yo no sé mañana, okay? Okay, so season up with smoky salt. And this smoky salt, ladies and gentlemen, this salt, first of all, I smoke sea salt with hickory and mesquite, and then we finish it with smoked paprika. I'm telling you, this stuff, game changer. You don't have to go outside and grill to get smoke flavor. It's right there. Right? That gives your liquid smoke a run for its money. All day, every day. All right. So let me show you the searing that I was talking about that we want to develop with the mushrooms. You see that? That's flavor right there. That's flavor. Okay. Very, very important. So that's what we're looking for. This is why you can't be moving around the pan too much once the mushrooms get in there the first
Oh,
go
it's
around.
Yo No Sé Mañana by Luis Enrique.
Ah, Yo No Sé Mañana. That's the actual name of the song, the full
Yes.
name. Yo No Sé Mañana by
Luis.
Luis Enrique?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
So it's Yo No Sé Mañana.
Is it a salsa song? It's a
Yes.
very famous tropical salsa song.
Yes. By Luis
Yeah. Enrique.
Enrique. See?
No.
Okay, back to business, people. Okay, back to business. Alrighty, mushrooms are sauteed real nice.
Miss Pasha said I'm ordering on Wednesday.
Nice, Miss Pasha. We're here for you. We're ready when you are. We're ready. Look at these deliciously caramelized mushrooms. So this is the first step of the mushrooms, right? Because what I'm going to do is we're giving it a nice little sear, right? And we're making sure that all of it, we're making sure that all of it is cooked first, and then we're going to just hit it with a little bit of saucy sauce at the end.
Copper Queen said, hello, Chef. Nice
Copper Queen, nice to see you too. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are just joining, let me run through what we're doing today. All right, we have spoken about a lot of things already. We have Knife Cuts 101 Part 2 scheduled for Thursday, so make sure you sign up for that. I'm going to create the schedule for the live, so this way you can RSVP. It'll be same time, same place, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the first thing. Second thing is we have our lentils in the back, nice and warm. All right, I'm finishing up some sauteed mushrooms right now, some oyster mushrooms from the farmer's market. Really delicious. And we have a beautiful salad as well that we just pre-mixed right here, which contains arugula, green lettuce, broccoli sprouts, spinach, and kale. Look at that. Five greens. You know what I'm saying? And we have carrots, white and yellow. We have red peppers and red onions. Stop playing with me. Come on, man. Stop playing with me. Stop playing.
2 things.
Oh, and we're going to add red beets. And not just any red beets. These red beets are roasted. Talk to me, Emma.
All right, 2 things now. Buddy always said hi, Grandpa. I don't know.
Say that
He
again.
said hi, so.
Go on.
And then someone said, Fox said, where do you live?
I'm in ATL, baby.
And someone said, bro, I love your kitchen.
Oh, man. Appreciate that. Is that it?
That kitchen is my dream. And then Copper's Queen said, yummy.
Cool. Thanks, Copper. All right. So what I'm slicing is my meat substitute that I make at home. This is literally something so delicious that I can't wait for all of you to try when you come to my pop-up that I'm having. All right. This stuff, I turn it into bacon, grounds for pasta, like you name it. It's multi-purpose, right? So after these mushrooms are cooked, we're going to sear that real quick. Beautiful. Get the last bit in there. Okie dokie, smoky. All right, let's spread it out so we can get that oil evenly distributed.
Miss Pasha said, I want a salad so bad. I guess I'll have to wait till, I guess I will have to grow my greens at home. Now it's the jalapenos.
Aha. I think they're doing this stuff on purpose, man. You know,
It spreads to all 40, well, not all, but 47 states now.
I think they're doing this stuff on purpose because it just makes no sense. Like, I don't get it. It's like, what? We're not gonna eat? Like, everything that we're supposed to be eating that's supposed to be good for us, all of a sudden now is making people sick? Like, come on, man. It's madness. There's gotta be some kind of agenda. You know what I mean? All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, we are basically done with making dinner. We just have to assemble a few things, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the rest of the mushrooms in once these get that nice sear. All right, boom. Put that over there. And the sauce I'm going to use is a sauce that I already pre-made, of course. This is the other thing I want to talk to you guys about. When you're trying to, not trying to be, because you guys are plant-based. To do plant-based successfully, it really takes you thinking ahead as much as possible, right? So like these beets were roasted last week. So anytime I need them, they're ready to go, right? The sauce is already pre-made. The lentils, I made a massive pot, put them in glass containers, put them in the freezer. I literally put it outside to defrost, left, came back, it was ready to go. So doing plant-based successfully also takes you thinking ahead in terms of what can I prep and make in a batch, making a bigger batch that I can then break down into smaller containers. So this way, when I'm ready to go, or if I'm in a pinch, or I come home from work and it's too late, I don't want to think of this whole master plan. You already have a few things that are working that you can literally put together and make your dinner. You know what I mean? So it's really important to do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So hence the sauce. Even tomato sauce, I will make a massive batch. Like I buy like 30, 40 tomatoes at a time. Plus I'll get some, canned tomatoes as well. Combine that and make sauce. So I have sauce for a whole month in the freezer, in the deep freezer. Yes, Emma.
Fox asks, what are your go-to farmers markets in Decatur?
What are my top farmers markets?
Yeah, in Decatur, like that area of Atlanta.
So for me, farmers markets, I like Buford Highway Farmers Market. It's a good one. We don't need a lot of this sauce, right? Because we already seasoned the mushrooms. Right? Look at that, beautiful. Done. Put that up there. Okay, let's get the potato on the fire real quick for a second. Now, we have the plant roast that I'm going to just throw in. The plant roast is fully cooked, right? So this just needs to warm up basically. Look at that. So we have mushrooms, we have our plant roast. So protein, complete protein is covered right here, right now. Just like that, right? So I'll put that there, let that stay warm. So back to farmers markets. I love Buford Highway Farmers Market. And then in terms of an actual farmers market, there is one downtown, Highland, and then there's another one in Buckhead that's really good, right? There's one, so there's one in Dresden too, and there's one that I go to that's in Sandy Springs. That's really nice. So it really just depends. Each farmer's market is different. Some are more produce heavy, some are more, random like clothes and jewelry and stuff like that. Those I don't really care for because it's like I want the vegetables, I want the fruits. You know what I mean? So those are the farmers markets that I tend to go to a lot. But Buford Highway, I love going to Buford Highway Farmers Market because that particular farmers market has a lot of international ingredients, a lot of, all of the Asian greens, the gailon, the Chinese broccoli, all that stuff, even African ingredients too. So it's a really good place to get Spanish produce, Indian produce, Caribbean produce, African produce, like it's international. You know what I mean? So their international produce section or this international section period, because as much as they have produce that's international, they have, goods that are international too. So that's where I go for that kind of stuff. Love that question. Any other questions for moi? Turn this down. We'll bring the fire up. All right. Let's get our garlic butter ready. So now you see my garlic butter, the oil literally just melted, finished melting. So our garlic is fully cooked. We have all of this garlic butter. So now what we want to do is we're going to just let this get hot for just a second. Right? As soon as it starts to bubble, we're going to take it off the fire and we're going to add our dill.
Cheryl said I go to Buford as well.
Oh, nice. All right, Cheryl, what's up? If you see me, say hi, cause I stay in Buford Highway. All right, so beets. Does anyone know how to cook beets? If you know how to cook beets, put a one in the chat. All right, because there's definitely a right way and a wrong way to cook beets. So I'm hoping you guys know the right way to cook beets. Look how beautiful that looks. All right. So for those of you who put one in the chat,
Not yet. No.
Okay. So I want you to tell me, how do you cook? I'm sure you'll teach me. All right. So I wanna hear what's the best way to cook beets. All right. Let me get my butter ready. Did mommy come back yet?
I didn't hear.
No. Okay. Get my lentils hot. Let's taste it. Let's see. Make sure it's good. Make sure we don't need to add anything. I had to add a little bit of water to, dilute it so I can bring it up to temperature. All right. Doesn't need any salt. This needs to get hot. Okay, everything is ready. So let's talk about how we roast beets, right? Something bit me. Okay, really important. You don't want to boil your beets, right? When you boil beets, you are literally throwing away nutrients, you're throwing away color, and you're throwing away a ton of flavor, right? So that's the first thing. You never boil your beets. 2, you never keep them in water. When you keep them in water, it literally pulls out the flavor. So unless you want to create beet water, then you can soak them. But otherwise, don't ever soak them. Leave them just like that, dry in a container. All right. The next thing I would say is the way you cook them. You want to roast your beets. Roast them with herbs, roast them with garlic, roast them with bay leaves, roast them with thyme, rosemary, bay leaves. Yes.
Cheryl said you're doing so well, Chef.
Oh, Cheryl, I appreciate that. Thank you. So you want to roast your beets, right? For me, I like tossing them in just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Wash them really nicely, dry them, toss them in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, and then season them with salt and pepper. Hit it with a bunch of herbs, right? Your favorite herbs. Put that in there as well. And some garlic cloves, onions. I like putting 1 or 2 Scotch bonnet peppers in there too as I roast it. Yes. And you cover all of that up. You want to cover it when you roast it, right? Cover it up so it steams as it's roasting. And you want to roast it. And it's the same technique that I showed you with the potato. When to check, see if it's ready. Take one out, stick your knife into it. If it slides off of the knife, it's ready. If it stays on the knife, it still has time to go. And then you gauge it accordingly. Now, to clean it after you're finished roasting it, this is the trick. As soon as it's done roasting, you take it out of the oven, you take it out of whatever you roasted it in, you cover it with plastic or a lid. So put it into a glass container, a bowl, something, but you want to cover it airtight. That residual heat is going to steam it and it's going to separate the skin enough that you can just rub the skin off, right? And that's how you clean your beets. You want to rub the skin off. If you didn't roast it enough, the skin will not rub off, right? Then you're going to have to use your knife to kind of just peel it and cut it off. But don't wash it while you're rubbing it off. You can wash your hands and then get back to the beets, but never wash the beets when you're peeling it to get the skin off, all right? Wash your hands, come back to the beet. And then once you're done peeling, you keep them in a container. And then when you need to make a salad, when you need to make anything else that you want to add your beets to, it's tasty, it's beautiful. I eat them hot just out of the oven like that. They're great with some butter, some everything seasoning, which we also have in the TikTok shop. Coming soon, probably later on this week, right? So I have an amazing everything seasoning. My everything seasoning has orange zest in it, so it has citrus notes that's just amazing. So think of an everything bagel seasoning, but next level.
Ruby said, wash beets, gently steam them uncut until tender.
Yes.
And then Copper Queen said, so we shouldn't peel them first before we roast them.
Never, Copper. You never peel your beets before you roast them. That's how you get to keep in all the nutritional value. That's how you get to keep in the flavor. That's how you get to lock in the flavor of the beet. The minute you peel it and then you go to cook it, it bleeds, right? The skin keeps everything intact, and it's the best case scenario for you to get the most flavorful beets. I'm telling you, try this technique, and the next time you have beets, you tell me. I'm telling you, it's a game changer, right? Season it up really nicely, right? And then cover it up and roast it. I roast mine at 400 degrees, so nice and hot, okay? All right, Mama Bear's home, so let's finish up dinner. All right, so we got the dill.
She said, ooh, excuse me.
What's up? You okay there?
I'm fine.
All right, let me get my dressing. What are the people saying, Ems?
Copper Queen said, okay, thank you, will do.
Yes, Copper, you got it. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. All right, so it seems that we are out of dressing, ladies and gentlemen. There's, the kids finished it while I was away. You know what I'm saying? So I thought we had, so I'm gonna have to make something on the fly, which is what I do. I under pressure, there's no such thing when it comes to cooking.
So it's good that we finished this, so you can show your skills.
I'm about to show the peeps how we roll in this year household. You know what I'm saying? All right, check me out. Check me out. Check me out. Check me out. Okay, so we got apple cider vinegar, sesame oil, rice wine vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, right? And salt and pepper. Okay, the pepper's gonna go right into the salad, right? So we don't waste time trying to get it into this narrow situation, all right? Okay, so salt in, okay? Rice wine vinegar. Apple cider vinegar. And sesame oil. Gives it that Asian kick, right? Extra virgin olive oil, and we're talking really good extra virgin olive oil. All right, and the ratio of fat to acid is always 2-to-1. Okay. All right. Now let me get some fresh citrus, because that's just how we roll. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make sure that this salad dressing pops. You know what I mean? So let me get my green squeezy. Squeezy, lemon squeezy. All right, so right in there. Amazing. That's one. Put this into the garbage disposal. Get rid of the seeds, and then 2. I always like adding fresh citrus to my dressings, just because, this is when you do it, right? Because you can. You know what I'm saying? If you buy dressing from the store, that fresh lemon flavor is never there. You know what I mean? But when you make it at home, you can always get that beautiful fresh citrus. That is what dressing is all about. You know what I mean? So that's in, and we just shake it up. Now there's one thing I'm missing, and that's the emulsifier. Fat and acid will never stay together. That's why you get vinaigrettes, right? And vinaigrettes is always separated. That's why you see like 2 different shades of liquids, right? And that's what's basically going to happen with this one. So what I'm going to add to this to help emulsify it is an emulsifier. And emulsifiers are things like mayonnaise, hummus, mustard, and tahini. Any 4 of those you can use as an emulsifier, all right? So we're going to...
creamy.
Say that again?
Stuff that looks creamy.
Stuff that is creamy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is add some Dijon, right? Excuse me, sir, do you have any Grey Poupon? Right. Well, we don't have Grey Poupon, but we have Dijon. which is the same.
What is Grey Poupon?
Grey Poupon is mustard, baby. Yeah, it's a French mustard.
Grey?
Grey Poupon is the name of the brand.
Oh,
Grey
Is that
Poupon.
grape poupon right there?
No, it's
No,
not.
it's Dijon.
Oh.
It's Dijon
Oh, God.
from
Both
France.
of you are.
It's Dijon mustard.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to France with our Dijon mustard. Okay. So this is about half of a tablespoon, a little more than a tablespoon, right? We're gonna add. Actually, let's make it a full tablespoon. All right, very important. So we're gonna put that back on there, and we're gonna shake this up a little bit more. All right, now it's thicker, right? The colors also changed, but that's like how you can immediately emulsify your dressing, right? By adding one of those 4 that I mentioned. What I'm making is a dressing, a Dijon dressing with sesame oil, rice wine vinegar, and apple cider vinegar, some fresh lemon juice. All right, Emma.
Yeah. Oh, I did.
So, and then we have that going with our delicious salad. All right, beets, cucumbers. It's time to serve and plate up. All right, so I gotta make some room, clean up this place. All right, we're gonna slide this board down. All right, our lentils is done, so I'm gonna turn this off. Put the fire over there. Okay, so this is out of the way. Let's get the plate. I need gloves to, huh?
I would help you, but
Yeah, no worries. You good? You good? All right, let's see. Place for washing. So we're gonna have to go this route. All right, so we're gonna just do one of these. All right, first things first. Our garlic butter is good. Let's add some salt and pepper to the garlic butter. All right, very important. Okay. Give that a stir. That's bubbling real nice. So you see the garlic butter? Nice and bubbly, right? So now we add in all this fresh dill.
Matthew
Just like
said,
that.
what are we making, man?
We're making garlic dill. Garlic dill potatoes. Right? So you notice how it's still on the top? So I don't want to put all of the dill and mix it in yet, right? We're still keeping the integrity of the dill. So this way we can still get that pop of the raw dill, right? Very important. So I'm going to just put this here, right? So as of now, the dill is doing this thing. It's seeping into the butter. It's creating that nice homogeneous flavor that we want. In the meantime, I'm going to mix the salad with this delicious dressing, right? I'm going to pour some of this in here. Okay. Okay. You notice I didn't even taste it, right? Cause you're a beast. Thanks, babes.
Matthew asked, is this what you do every day?
Yes, Matthew. I cook like this every day. All right, but Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I show you. Thursday and Friday, you know, I kind of take a breather. But this Thursday, I'm actually doing a knife class. So for every one of you that just, we're doing part 2 because people asked. The people asked, you know what I'm saying? I'm here for the people, right? So the people asked. So Thursday at 5:30 p.m., we're going to do another 101, knife 101.
Matthew said, okay, then here you go. He followed you.
Beautiful. Appreciate that, Matthew. Thanks for the follow. All right. You're going to get lots of plant-based goodness in this life. All right. So look at this deliciously beautiful, visually appealing salad, right? Okay. So it's still missing the beets, which we'll now add in. You notice I didn't put the beets in early because beets, of course, that color, it just stains everything. So you want to mix your salad first. And then when your salad is actually done being mixed, then you want to add the beets in. So you're just giving it a quick, rough mix, because the longer you keep tossing the salad with the beets is the more you give it an opportunity for the beets to discolor the salad. And then you're going to end up with something that looks like Halloween. You know what I mean? Alrighty. Actually, no, we're gonna put the salads on a smaller plate.
Miss Pasha put knife.
Knife, yes, Miss Pasha. Heard you loud and clear. Alright, let's get these salad bowls. How much we got here? 5? Okay, that works. Alright. Emma salad first. Alright. That's for you. And then the rest of us get the cukes. Alright. Maybe give you a little bit more.
That's why I left.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. So now we're mixing this up. Let's see. Okay. Now we can do this. So Miss Pasha, I got you. I got you. I love the most important thing is having a sharp knife. That's for mommy. It's for your mama. This is for your brother. And this one's for your sister. All right. So the most important thing, right? Let's do a little preview for the knife class. Is having a sharp knife. I can't stress enough how important it is and how necessary it is to have a sharp knife in the kitchen. It's like, I'm telling you, it's the most important thing, a sharp knife. And here's the reason why.
The salad looks good.
Oh, thank you so much. Here's why it's important to have a sharp knife. When you have a sharp knife, it's safer in the kitchen and less cuts happen, because when your knife's not sharp and it's dull, you have to apply more pressure to cut. When it's sharp, it's effortless. It's like a little salsa merengue. You know what I'm saying? You're just dancing like this. 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? But when it's dull, you're fighting your ancestors, you're fighting your parents, you find people that you don't even know is there. It's just bad.
That's a good one.
Right?
Appreciate that. I definitely don't want to fight my ancestors.
Right? That's what I'm saying, yo.
Alright, 2 things.
Yes,
Matthew
Emma.
said, what else are we making? So maybe just go and do an overview of everything.
Yes. So I'm about to mount in my delicious garlic dill butter right here. Right? And this is going to go on top of these beautifully cooked taters. Alright? So these are red bliss potatoes. Right? See that? Beautifully cooked potatoes. Right? So we have red bliss potatoes that we're gonna add that delicious garlic dill butter on. Right? And then we have some delicious mushrooms over here with a little bit of Asian sauce as well. All right, boom. So we have some crispy mushrooms. We have some plant-based substitute, which we make in-house. All right, all yummy, yummy in my tummies.
Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
8-Bit Dream said, where are we supposed to get all the vegetables with all these outbreaks?
Your best case scenario, and this is like the honest truth, is finding a farmer's market, right? And when I say a farmer's market, I'm talking about a market where you actually, the person selling is the farmer, right? That's what I'm doing, you know, because we about to be eating air. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean?
Wind pie.
Wind pies, you know, like it's crazy. So this is the dill, right? With the garlic, with the all that good stuff, right? Seasoned to perfection, right? And you just drizzle it right over the potatoes. So check that out. See? That's what we want, right? Garlic dill potatoes. And we're done, right? So we have that. And then the last thing is our lentils.
Also, I read that the parasite is killed when
you cook when you cook the vegetables.
So just maybe, you know.
So, you know, try to go to the farmer's market for the lettuce and stuff like that, but the weather's changing, so we're not gonna have a lot of time left to get lettuce from the farmer's markets. But in terms of the other vegetables that they might say have anything that we don't want to catch, then they say if you cook it, you're in a good place. So we just have to be very vigilant about what we're doing and how we're doing. The thing is washing stuff properly. So this is why for me, I'm always soaking, in water, washing really good, just cleaning as much as possible because you just don't know.
Cheryl asked, do you eat eggs, chef?
No, we're 100% plant-based, so no byproducts, no meat, no anything, no honey, no eggs, no cheese, no milk, like 100% plants, 24/7. That's how we roll. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm here live every day, so I can share with you how to do it, like we do it. We're vegan now, going on 10 years. And it's 5 of us, you know what I'm saying? Straight from the west side to the east side to the north side to the south side.
All the sides.
All the sides.
Vegan.
All right, people. Dinner's done. All right, we have lentils, spicy coconut curry lentils. We have garlic dill potatoes. We have mushrooms, really delicious. And then we have a beautiful salad. Yes, Ems.
8-Bit Dream asked...
Who?
Why 8-Bit Dream
8-Bit, what's up?
Asks why no honey or eggs?
Because it's from animals, and we try not to do anything. Well, not try. We don't do anything animals. Anything that comes from animals, we don't eat. We feel that it's not necessary. So and yeah, that's where we are. We decided that we won't eat anything that involves animals. Yeah, that's all.
And then Chef Spirit said sous chef here from Albuquerque.
Yo, what's up, sous chef? Nice. Welcome. All right, so that's it, people. Tomorrow's Tuesday. All right, join us. We're probably gonna do some Nigerian food tomorrow, I think. All right, we're gonna cook something out of the cookbook tomorrow, so stay tuned for that.
Matthew said, I think it's only lettuce right now.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, and it's like iceberg lettuce. So, there's so many other great lettuce out there. Just stay away from iceberg lettuce for now, and I think we'll be good to go. You know what I mean?
Let's see. Fox said no fish.
No fish, no seafood, no poultry,
No animal.
no nothing. Anything that has a heartbeat, anything that has veins, blood pumping, we don't mess with. Cool. Ed, here's your dinner, sir.
And no byproducts.
Yes, and no byproducts. Ems.
It's for me, thank you.
L.
Thank you.
Holla at your boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. All right, I want to thank you so much for rocking and rolling with me today. Jackie, everybody, Miss Judy, appreciate you. Matthew, nice to meet you. All right. What was that? Anything with the heart
or
a
mother.
mother. Yep, you said it, Miss Pasha. We appreciate you. Yeah.
Matthew said, so that means no meat.
No meat. Yeah. No meat.
What's up? Matthew, let me make sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we out of here. All right, appreciate you. Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you for the love, the interaction. Thank you for the gifts. All right, we appreciate each and every one of you. All right, I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Peace.